Hello, listeners. I hope everyone is doing well this week. As those of you that tune in regularly will know, this is my last ever episode in my guise of the Get Fit Guy. For new listeners, the great news is there's a 2-year and 8-month backlog of my yapping for you to catch up on, and several years before that of different Get Fit Guys. We're like Doctor Who. Every few years we respawn. So now the end is near, and together we face the final curtain. What would my last words to you all be? Well, I haven't really thought about it because I do prefer to be genuine and kind of off the cuff. So I'm just freestyle tapping this out on my MacBook. So first of all, it's to say the one malady with which we are all afflicted is mortality. Since none of us know what is on the other side of that, then it's normal and natural for us to want to extend the time that we spent here on this side of the veil. And the best way that we have to do that is by improving our fitness, because this impacts our longevity. There are mountains of data on the benefits of strength training and the benefits of aerobic work on the body. These training interventions decrease all-cause mortality rates. Of that, there is no doubt. That's my first premise. The second premise is that all life on Earth that is currently existing exists because it was best suited for survival on Earth. Those species that were less well suited died out. This is the meaning of survival of the fittest. Fittest in the sense of biology means resisting the dangers of the world long enough to reproduce and continue your species. Being well suited for life on Earth is an adaptation that occurred across time. There was environmental stressors that occurred. Organisms adapted to the new stressors. We know this is how things work because it's how we all acquire new skills. If you want to play the piano, then there's a necessary condition that has to be met. That condition is you have to actually practice playing a piano. More practice also normally results in faster adaptations, and more complex practice results in higher skill level. So the conclusion from these premises is entirely deductive, which is that the conclusion has to follow and is never in doubt. So to summarize it neatly, premise 1, training will increase your longevity. Premise 2, training is an adaptation brought about by practice. Conclusion: to increase longevity, practice training. There you have it. That's the last 2 years and 8 months in a logical syllogism. You now don't ever need to read another fitness article again or attempt another crazy diet or training plan. So what does that argument really look like in practical terms of going training? Well, you go to the gym, go out for a walk, go for a run, go play a sport. Afterwards, you rest, recover from doing it, and a few days later, you go and do it again with a slightly harder effort level and or complexity level. If you find you can't do it slightly harder, then it means you didn't rest enough. And if you can, then great. Congratulations, you've made an adaptation. Enjoy. There's literally no secret sauce. The human body works the way for all humans. It's a rest, recovery, and adaptation model. Thing about this model is it's governed by biological laws. It's not something that can be monetized by the influencer's favorite word, method. I mean, seriously, how many methods are there out there for a single species? So since biological laws cannot be monetized, influencers, have to drop a bunch of mumbo jumbo and pseudoscience on you because they can sell that. 5G is apparently killing us all, so hey, buy my 5G wave deflecting sticker to put on your phone. If you drink this detox tea, you'll lose 10 pounds in a week. No, you won't. And if you do, it wasn't anything healthy that occurred. So my final message to you about fitness is pretty simple. Go and train, then rest, eat well, increase the difficulty, and repeat. Done. Don't buy into the top 5 secrets to anything. Don't buy into the workout that whatever actor did to get in shape for whatever role they did. It's all there just to sell a product, and it's not there to help you. Everyone's in a rush these days. Real success and real joy is in the process. No one values anything that's just been handed to them on a plate. We value what we earn. Buying a tea that makes you spend a week on the toilet isn't an achievement. Learning to eat the rainbow, being kind to yourself and others, and going to the gym, even when it's more cozy to stay in bed, and doing that for months and years consistently is where you get value and achievement. On the topic of fitness, I have nothing more to say. I want to talk, though, about something else that's important to me. No, not philosophy, but neurodiversity. We're at a moment in time where there's a perfect intercept point of medical diagnosis and societal awareness. This has meant many more people are being diagnosed with a neurodiversity. In my case, it was Asperger's. For other people, it could be ADHD or another neurodiverse condition. It's generally accepted that there are not more neurodiverse people. More people being diagnosed is not the same thing. And also people are just more comfortable, perhaps, disclosing it. There isn't something in the air, there isn't something in the water, and there isn't something in inoculations that makes you more autistic. But I would also encourage people, as far as possible, beyond that awareness, to be more kind. There is a philosophy paper, had to do it, called What's It Like to Be a Bat? By an American philosopher called Thomas Nagel. Essentially, the point of the paper is there is a unique conscious experience and necessity in experience to being a bat. No matter how much we as humans learn about bat anatomy, bat brains and bat behavior, there's no way we can ever know what's it like to be a bat. We can't have a conscious experience of being one because there's a necessary quality of batness that only a bat can have. So no matter how many shows like Love on the Spectrum that you watch, or the very unkindly UK named show, The Undateables, you can't ever have an idea of what's it like to be autistic, because there is a unique conscious experience that only someone that's autistic can have. So be more kind. For myself, and I guess many others, there's an odd bifurcation. That is, there's many social challenges, and that social situations can be very stressful and anxiety inducing, but also a deep yearning to connect with other people. Definitely for me, I feel that the way I connect, and I know it's the same for other autistic persons, is that it's by sharing our special interests. Usually we're super experts on a certain topic or several topics, and sharing that with others is our way to come closer. It's not a way to bore you. It's not a way to not let anyone get a word in edgeways. It's a way to try and connect. Now, this week I had commented on a LinkedIn post about something and used my philosophical training to answer something. And a very unkind person wrote, "Kevin Dunn, I bet you're fun at cocktail parties." Well, no, I'm not. First of all, although I'd love to get up, dressed up nice and go to a cocktail party, I get social anxiety, so I'd need a kind of buffer person. So, hey, if there's anyone over here that fancies inviting me to a cocktail party and being my buffer person, get in touch. I'd love to wear a tuxedo and go out. But I also haven't been to the cinema in years, out for drinks, attend events that I want to go to at university. Things like I remember going to Nashville, and I really, really wanted to have Nashville hot chicken. And yet when I went to the place to have that, I can't remember the name of the most famous place, but is it Hattie B's? Anyway, I went there and there was a queue out the door and the place was rammed full of people. So I couldn't go in. I was too anxious. And then I end up really upset because I'm like, look, I went all the way to Nashville and I didn't even try Nashville hot chicken. And I've had that experience in many places that I've been. I've not been able to try their famous foods or go to their famous landmarks because of anxiety, and that's rough. And it's hard because, you know, as well, when you end up talking about your specialist subject to people in a conversation, you see them start like looking around the room for a way to exit the conversation with you, and it's like, yeah, I'm autistic, I'm not stupid, I can see this, and it kind of hurts your feelings, right? So I guess what I'm trying to say is, first of all, you know, people that are trying to share their specialist subject with you are doing it because they want to connect. They're not doing it to bore you or hog the conversation. And secondly, I guess also I want to say that I do know that people think that, and therefore I'm sorry also for having shared my own special interest, which is, you know it, philosophy, so many times. I wanted to share it with everyone to try to connect. But I have received some absolute roastings via email about this, so I know it wasn't for everyone. I know that many people came here to try and look good naked and get big biceps, and I ended up talking about virtue ethics and living the good life and free will. Anyway, I would also like to thank the people at Quick and Dirty Tips, both past and present. There was Adam, who was the first director of podcasts I worked with, Davina, who I think was the one that found me, actually, on Instagram, of all places, because I don't use it very often. Holly, who has listened to me having some absolute breakdowns and rants, and Brannon, the current director, who, in spite of taking 2 weeks to reply to only 20% of what I say in my emails, is a good guy and has also been patient and supportive. As a person who does have Asperger's challenges, I must be very difficult to work with, and they have been great at supporting my quirks and my meltdowns. 10 out of 10 people. I also want to say, stay tuned to the podcast feed, because I know that they'll be dropping some fun content for listeners in the coming weeks. I don't know anything about if any new host will be coming on, but I know there'll be some other things on here for you to access and hopefully get excited by. And yeah, I guess this is it. I would usually say that if you want to reach out to me, sending me an email at getfitguy@quickanddirtytips.com, but I won't be checking those emails anymore. So if you want to follow me and what I'm doing next, I'm going to be uploading my special interest of philosophy onto a YouTube channel. What's also really exciting is I'm going to be doing some research and interviewing academics with my good friend who's also studying philosophy here with me from Edinburgh, but she's from North Carolina. So we're going to be making some videos together over the summer that will be really fun. So if you wanted to follow that, the channel name's Kevin Don, just my name. However, I'd like to say that someone else has my name. It's probably actually me, because I have tried to make a YouTube channel many years in the past and forgot the password. So I think the Kevin Don is also me. But so this new channel name is Kevin with 3 N's. So KEVINNNDON. Kevin Don. It's also my Instagram. And please come and subscribe to my channel and interact with me there. It's a good way to support me if that's something you wanted to do. And although I haven't met the thousands of you that listen, I know that you're there. And I also just want to extend a genuine, heartfelt thank you to you, because I've struggled many times in the last 2 and a bit years with sadness and loneliness and feelings of abandonment. I think I told you all before, I had this wonderful, always there for me anchor person who unfortunately, our friendship came to a very unamicable end, as sometimes happens in life. And it was terrible. And, just having to go and make this podcast every week was something for me to do and was a great coping mechanism. So being able to talk to you all through my own ups and downs has been very cathartic and made me feel I wasn't alone. So thank you, everyone, and goodbye.